Hello, and welcome everyone to our next installment of our Ocean Steward Spotlight series, where we're highlighting diverse voices that are working to protect our oceans and hoping to inspire others with these stories. Tonight, we are really lucky to have Queen Quet, Chieftess of the Gullah Geechee Nation. Welcome, Queen Quet. Thank you for joining us.
I'm so
So,
glad for deal with Hannah Sam. Glad for see Hannah one more again.
Love it. So Queen Quet is a published author. Let's see, a computer scientist, lecturer, mathematician, historian, preservationalist, environmental justice advocate, environmentalist. I could go on and on. She's the founder of the premier advocacy organization for the continuation of Gullah Geechee culture, the Gullah Geechee Sea Island Coalition. So we've known each other for a little while now, Queen, almost a decade since we began work to save the angel oak all those years ago.
Yes, it seems like it's been at least a decade in this lifetime anyway, right? It seems like it's a couple of lifetimes, I guess, because we love the ocean so much and we're kindred spirits in that regard that it really feels like a lifetime that we've known each other. We've done a lot together up and down this coastline for true.
Yes, yes. So let's start with telling us a little bit about if you had a defining moment that made you fall in love with the ocean. I know it's very tied to your culture, and what was it for you?
I don't think I have a defining moment because as a sea island girl, I think we are born into water. I mean, water is natural because you're in the womb in water. And so just all I can think about every time I even go to Hunting Island is how much further it seems that I used to have to walk to get to the water, right? Because I'm always still feeling like that little girl that wanted to run toward the ocean, but my mother wasn't having it. My mother was, unlike in your culture, my mother is like, stay right here. Come on.
Right? And I've met your mother, so I know.
So I'm not joking. All right. Hi, Mom. Right. So definitely she wasn't having that. You ain't running off. And even we were not allowed to go in beyond our kneecaps in the ocean. So I always think about her when I go to the ocean, because now I can go up to my neck at least, right? I don't go swimming, but I go up there. And so I'm like, I know she'd have a fit if she was out there. She'd be like, get out of there, So that was the thing. So I've always loved the ocean because my family and I have been going there since I was born. So, I guess the defining moment probably was a time I wasn't even thinking about it, just being a child, just enjoying that energy that you get from being in the waves.
Absolutely. I love that. It reminds me of the feeling of standing next to the angel oak. You just feel like you're a little kid again, and the world is so big and connected. Yeah. I love it. So let's take a step back, and a lot of our viewers are not from the Lowcountry. So tell us a little bit about Gullah Geechee culture.
Sure. So when Hannah yelled me a while ago and things like that, to crack my teeth like that, y'all probably been wondering why. Right, y'all probably going, what's that, right? If you're not from here. I know you did, but because you're kind of used to me now, right? And you're here, you grew up around here, so you get it. But yes, most people, their first encounter and that shock is, whoa, what is that I'm hearing? And that's the Gullah language. And our language exists because it grew up, just like you talked about the angel oak, it grew from this sand of these sea islands, from Jacksonville, North Carolina to Jacksonville, Florida, and then 30 to 35 miles inland to the St. Johns River. This whole region is called the Gullah Geechee Nation. And that's because people of African and indigenous descent have been here since the 1500s, and we amalgamated numerous linguistic patterns, foodways, cultural traditions, and created what is world known now as the Gullah Geechee culture. And so when Hona the Yeti people are cracking teeth like this, if you calm down young and think, then Hona to know that in 1 week. So if you hear anybody speaking like that, you go, oh, that's a Gullah Geechee. That's one of us for sure. Mm-hmm.
Love it. Love it. So yeah, you've worked with us on
So many
saving
things, right?
so
Stopping
many things.
offshore drilling. Of course, you and I saw that with the antelope. So people go, what the antelope got to do with the water, though?
Yeah.
I mean, it's part of the sea islands. And so that was part of our cultural tradition. And we couldn't let our fisheries be damaged and lose our cultural tradition of fishing and crabbing and shrimping and all those things. So we fought together to stop offshore drilling, stop seismic gun testing. You and I have done so many different things, but I think those have been like the major ones in
Yeah.
terms of, really raising interest, raising stewardship awareness, raising knowledge about our environment and about Gullah Geechee culture and how it's inextricably tied to the land and the water here. So I think with those, and we raised a lot of money for the antelope too.
Yeah. A lot of money.
A lot of money. So we need to do that part again.
Yeah.
All right. We need waves of money coming in because, we have a big fight now with sea level rise and climate change and even trying to educate people more so that we don't have deniers that these things are happening. And so it's so many great things. And we've just had so many celebrations, hands across the sands.
Yeah.
It's usually our kind of annual gathering to celebrate and also make people aware of whatever issue we're dealing with now. So yeah, we've done a lot of things.
Yep. I'll never forget when I first started working at Oceana, I was studying the maps of the area that they wanted to do seismic blasting. And the first thing that I said was, this is the Gullah Geechee Heritage Corridor. It's the entire corridor. And it just, and you were the first person I thought that needed to be involved with this. And gosh, your voice has made such a difference. So thank you so much for that.
Thank you for bringing me into it. Yes.
Of course. So along the lines of what we were talking about, how do you inspire people in your community, and what would you say to someone who loves the ocean but doesn't really know what needs to be done to protect it?
Well, I can't say how I inspire other people. They'd have to tell me that part. But in terms of folks that don't really realize how valuable the ocean is, I often just say to people, what I say about my culture is that the waterways are our bloodline and the land is our family. Our bodies consist primarily of water. So when we think of the ocean, which we call oceans, but it's the ocean, right? And there are regions of it. This is that part of the whole world that connects to you as a person. So if you care, because some of us don't, if you care about yourself enough to take care of this vessel, then why wouldn't you care enough to take care of the vessel that you're a part of, which is the ocean? That water is valuable to all of us, even if you live inland, even if you've never lived on a sea island or coastal area before and you're watching. It's valuable to all of us because what happens here is going to have an impact where you are, especially if you love seafood. We ain't gonna talk about how much of that Sam eats, but especially if you love seafood, a lot of your seafood that gets to places around the world actually is harvested here off the Southeast in particular. So it's important that we all take an interest in this. And Sam, you probably aren't aware of this yet because I just released it to SCMEA and to the Georgia Environmental Educators. Oh, and by the way, they gave me an award just before the pandemic, the non-traditional environmental educator award for 2020. I got just before the pandemic. Yes. And so I'm not letting the title be in vain because I just did a lesson on ocean acidification. And so I'm providing that lesson to anybody who wants it. It's free for you to be able to use it, especially for homeschoolers, but then for people that just love outdoors like you and I, that want to learn more about the ocean, what's happening to the ocean, and what we could do to reverse the negative impacts of what's happening to the ocean, including ocean acidification. So even in my office, when I was showing it just for feedback, like visual feedback, what do you think? How does it look? It was like, hey, click on that. That's intriguing. Oh, I like that one. But quick, what's this part? But I was like, wait, don't play with the thing. Y'all can do the lesson later. I said, because I'm going to go back and do the lesson myself. But I was happy to get that kind of feedback. And there's a group called the ocean acidification information exchange, if people don't know about it, that you can find online and join, become a member. And I upload it there. So I'm hoping a lot of teachers and people will use it, and especially parents who have to be the teachers now, homeschooling. If you live on our coast, you live on any of these coastlines, it's great to get out there, see the ocean, learn about it.
Oh, that's so great. So I guess this is in line with what we were just talking about too. We have two major audiences. One, people who are already in the conservation community, but then there's our people who aren't and would like to get involved. So what is your ideal vision for the ocean community? What issues do you think are most important for us to work on?
I think that making sure that in regard to sea level rise and climate change dynamics right now, that should be a primary thing that we all need to focus on, because there are a number of impacts besides ocean acidification, and how these impacts are affecting cultural heritage communities and coastal communities, especially those that now people call BIPOC, that are indigenous communities like the Gullah Geechee community, that we in the Guayno Tall. There's a lot of what you call traditional knowledge that could be incorporated into the work that those who are professionals in the field are doing, and then those who are natives of these communities could offer. If you hadn't gotten engaged with some of these other folks who get paid to work on ocean issues, there needs to be a meeting of the minds. And I think that more effective collaborations need to happen between those literally on the shorelines and those who are paid to kind of examine it.
Absolutely. I think that the coalition that joined together to stop offshore drilling is such a great example of that.
Yes.
It was, a huge issue that affected the entire Atlantic coast, and not just South Carolinians, but people from Atlantic coastal communities. Yeah, all joined together, and it was, unlikely, partners. It was Republicans and Democrats and everyone, business owners, environmentalists, and it's just so refreshing to see everyone working together. And it's a true testament that it works, because we won.
We won. Exactly. Yes.
I mean,
intergenerational too. That's what I loved about it. It was intercultural, intergenerational. I mean, and we had fun doing it. Mm-hmm. It wasn't like it was, I know some of y'all sitting there thinking, oh Lord, not another PowerPoint. Oh Lord, not another speech. Oh no. We actually had a lot of fun. Even when you would have to get out there at the rallies, the speeches were empowering. And just the energy of having all these passionate people together was empowering. And then to see the tweets and the retweets and the reposts of what we've done in different places, and see people from all along the Eastern Seaboard celebrating together, that's powerful. It's amazing.
It really was. And I was so proud that South Carolina made national news, because we were such a leader in this fight.
Made positive national news.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. And I truly hope that is always part of our legacy, that South Carolinians will always stand up to the oil and gas industry. And I know we will.
Yes, we will. We're not going to stop anyway. So
no. And there's still more work to be done, for sure. So we definitely won't stop. Right. So tell me a little bit more about some local issues. I know there was a big issue with development in Bay Point. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
What I call destructionment. When these folks come into communities and things are already there that have been maintained by that community for ages, and then they want to do something else that's going to pull it apart, that's destructionment to me, and not development. You're not enhancing what's there. Bay Point is an important bird area. The Audubon has stated that. Bay Point is where our loggerhead turtles that we also love here, one of my favorite creatures, we call them the kuta and things like that come out the ocean, lay their eggs every year. We had over 1,000 of them that did that this last year at Bay Point area. They said, I was like, whoa, what a place, what a love nest, right? Pun intended. And so here it is that we have all of this beauty, all of God's glory coming together there. People go out that area. Gullah Geechees, we've been fishing, casting nets off and around there. I'm on St. Helena Island, and Bay Point is a point right between us and Hilton Head, one might say, but a little bit closer to St. Helena. And here it is. And for those who have been in the military, it's near Paris Island. Okay. So you're talking about it's right sitting there in the Port Royal Sound, which is another body of water that we fought so hard to try to keep pristine and to keep clean. Why would we want someone to build over 50 houses plus other outdoor amenities? There are no septic tanks or anything over there. What are you going to do with the waste? And if you were simply to Google Earth Bay Point during a king tide, it's flooded. So much so that last week, the one house that ever existed on Bay Point fell.
Wow.
And we now have images of it laying there, which now means another tide will come, a king tide will come, and that debris could end up in the main waterways and water channels that now impact the sea creatures that are there, has negative impacts on our water quality, and so on. So we already see this has happened with one building being there and collapsing. Hello, I think just as a computer scientist and engineer, I just use logic and say, I don't think 50 are going to survive either, you know? But yet they're trying to convince us that, you know, this luxury resort that they tried to greenwash as an ecotourism location is actual ecotourism. No, it isn't. Actual ecotourism is us going out and leaving no more than a footprint. Leaving no more than a ripple behind us because we're kayaking or we're going out in the bateau boat, or even if you have a yacht, you're going through, you're coming back. You're not going to leave a permanent structure in that place, in that space, but you're going to enjoy the natural environment. And so we're working with Beaufort County to really get a definitive definition for ecotourism. A lot of this, you know, as you know very well, there's a lot of teaching we have to do along the way as environmentalists and environmental stewards. And so it's great to have an opportunity to fight back. We won that, but they have appealed what the Board of Zoning Appeals said. So now the Gullah Geechee Fishing Association has to probably go to court against them to try to stop this destruction. And we had over 30,000 people and now over 31,000 people that signed our petition that says stop the destruction at Bay Point. It's still live. It's on change.org. If anybody else wants to sign it, please go ahead and sign it. We want to protect it. One of the other things I'm working on right now that's on the opposite end of the spectrum is I had the honor of unveiling the Ocean-Based Climate Solutions Act. That's out of Washington, D.C. Okay.
I did not know that.
You didn't even know. See, you don't even keep up. You get in a boat, Sam. Get in a boat with the Queen. Come on. You know? Yes. So yeah, I'll send you the video. Anybody can go see it. They go to gullahgeechee.tv. So that's GULLAHGEECHEE.tv, or follow Gullah Geechee Nation on Facebook. It's up there. You can type in Queen Quet Ocean-Based Climate Solutions Act, and it should pop up also. And so definitely go and check it out. I'll email it to you later, Sam, so that you can check it out. But I'm surprised. That's why I didn't get an email from you. I just knew I was going to get hit with an email from you of all the people in the world and the folks at Oceana to go, Queen, wow, you know, but y'all know, but I'll send you that. And so you
please do.
So yeah, that's what we're doing at the federal level. And of course, which brings down from the international level, the work that we've been doing with a lot of 30 by 30 planning to save our environment, save the land and the ocean, preserve 30% of it by 2030. And we really feel that this is important. And, you know, I support the UN SDGs, the Gullah Geechee Nation is working on it. So this new law was just a perfect fit. So I was so honored to be asked to be part of the unveiling, and we did a virtual press conference. So we'll definitely send you that, and I'll keep you and Oceana in the loop and in the boat.
Yes,
make progress with that. Yeah.
Please do. Wow, what an honor. Oh, that's so wonderful.
So you got the scoop here on your show today. Yeah.
Yes. So I'm guessing that your favorite ocean area is in your background. Is that correct?
Yes,
Where is your favorite ocean
that's the
spot?
Atlantic Ocean period, but especially Hunting Island. I love Hunting Island. I'm biased, of course, because it's here in my home county, Beaufort County, South Kakalaki. And like I said to you earlier, I grew up going to Hunting Island Beach. So I've been to a lot of beaches. I've been to Hawaii. I've been to the West Coast. I've been, to the Caribbean and all of that. But as much as a lot of people say, oh, they love the Caribbean waters because they feel they're clear, like our water's
Mhm.
not clear. If you stick a clear glass in the water and pull it up, you'll see it's clear. It's tannin that it's that tannin that makes our water look like it's not clear. But yes, I mean, I like going to the Caribbean. I love seeing the colors. I love the shift of colors. But I don't think I love any place more than I do Hunting Island. I just feel at peace, and I know I'm always connected with my ancestors when I'm there. I think my second most favorite place to go and stand and meditate would be Sullivan's Island, because that is where over 40% of all Africans enslaved in North America came through. So there's a particular solemnness to standing there and looking back toward the motherland from there. But I do the same thing from right here, just down the road a piece or down the creek yonder, from my house right here in Hunting Island. So yeah.
Wow. Wow, Hunting Island is one of my favorites too, and I often drive all the way there on my days off. And
Really?
even though I live 10 minutes
Yeah.
from Bali Beach,
Right.
I love the pine trees, and it just I love the feel, and I also love the diversity. You don't see that on the other South Carolina beaches that I've been to, and
Ooh.
it's just a nice crowd. There's always people cooking out and
Yes, it is. And she
families
loved that
and
food now. She loved that food. Ooh, once you go. Ooh,
yes, that reminds me of prior to when I was vegan, when I still ate seafood, the Gullah Geechee Seafood Festival, and how
yeah.
delicious that was.
Oh, yes, that's right. I forgot you even got to come down. Yeah. This year
Yeah.
we weren't able to hold it because of the pandemic, right? But we'll have it, God willing, in 2022. And so it's in October. So everybody get geared up, get your belly ready. And we'll be back at it again. So yeah, that's a wonderful thing. Again, why we got to protect these oceans and our waterways, because we won't have that good seafood for Nam Fun if we don't. Mm-hmm.
Yes. So tell our viewers, besides you have lots of events and really, really wonderful educational events too. Are there things, virtual events that folks can join? How can they find you? We'll put up a slide with your website at the end, but
Sure.
what are some things that people can do to get involved with your work?
Oh, well, it's wonderful because that you said it now, right after us talking about the Gullah Geechee Seafood Fest, because this year we actually held what was called the Gullah Geechee Freedom Fest virtually. And you can also see that at gullahgeechee.tv. And we did it as a fundraiser to help with our Gullah Geechee Land and Legacy Fund, which also helps to fund me going to the United Nations every year to fight for the sustainability of our land and our culture and the waterways and so on. And we're going to be having some more activities, but we're about to wrap up for this year. But February, which is Black History Month, that's when we're going to launch again, and we're going to have a whole series of different virtual activities every week. I also have a new show, though, that people may want to see. It's on Wednesdays at 3 p.m. It's called Zooming In on Sustainability. So every week we take on a different topic about sustainability, and some of it is about the sustainability of our oceans and waterways. So if folks just go ahead and follow GullahGeecheeNation.com, GullahGeecheeNation.com, or follow the Gullah Geechee Nation Facebook fan page. You can see all the events. We always post our events there, and that way you can keep up with them virtual or otherwise. So when we get out of the pandemic, you'll also see those things you can come to in person. So we have a lot of things like that going on consistently, even workshops that talk about sea level rise. We've hosted a few of those. So we do have those videos available at gullahgeechee.tv as well. So
Great,
subscribe
perfect.
for free, and you can subscribe to it for free. It's not like the other folks. I lure you there, and then there's a paywall. Okay, no, you can actually go to it for free. And then, Samantha, you mentioned education. So I want folks to know I have this book. Oh, All right, that Samantha that you see there, she is the Sandman's daughter, and she actually takes Scooter on a journey here in the Gullah Geechee Nation to learn about our ocean and our ocean creatures and everything. So this is one of two children's books that I was supposed to be touring the world with this year, okay? Because I also have that one, Goody Goody Goody. All right, so this was all in Gullah Geechee. And then this one is in English with some Gullah Geechee in it. And I did this with Robin Carter, who also loves the outdoors, like you and I. And she used to live at Debadoo. She used to live up in Georgetown. And so we got together with a fabulous artist, Al Hawkins, and he did the illustrations. So you can see the beauty of the ocean right
Oh,
there in that illustration alone. And so definitely this is one that as people are approaching the holy days and you have children, you have them at home, encourage them to read.
I I
This
think I
will
have
get
some
them.
ideas for holiday gifts now.
Yeah.
Where can we find those? On your website?
Yeah, you can actually go to queenquet.com or go directly to gullahgeechee.biz.
Okay.
Gullahgeechee.biz, and you can order all the books there. And if you order them from there, you get them autographed as well. And I have a number of other books that I've written about the history of the Gullah Geechee culture. So you'll find a lot of things there that you might be interested in. And one that I definitely suggest to people who want to do the type of collaborations you and I were talking about earlier is called We Be Gullah Geechee. All right, the Cultural Capital Collaboration Anthology. And so this is a copy of that one. Let's see if it's going to show up. Yep, right there.
Yep.
We Gullah Geechee, because I know some people are visual learners. So when they go to the site, they're like, I don't remember the name of the book. But when you see it, you'll know it's the right one. So yeah, just go to gullahgeechee.biz, and then please, always, you can go to gullahgeechee.net. That's our website for the Gullah Geechee Sea Island Coalition. You can email us from there too as well. So we can always help you out and connect you to some other resources and some other activities we're doing.
Awesome. Gosh, there's so much more time we could fill talking, but our time is definitely coming to an end. So I'm going to throw up a slide that shows your website, and so people can.
Is our Twitter handle on that one too, Sam?
I don't think it is, but please say it now so people can write it down.
Sure, it's at Gullah Geechee. So once again, GULLAHGEECHEE at Gullah Geechee. Ain't a no I in Geechee if it a we, okay? So, and also if you go to gullahgeecheenation.com that you see up on the screen, you'll see where you can follow us. So you can click on links from that page as well and get back to our Twitter feed, get to our Gullah Geechee Nation Facebook fan page. And we're also on Instagram. It's also at Gullah Geechee on Instagram, at Gullah Geechee on Twitter. And so we'd love to know more from your audience, you know, who are the other ocean stewards out there and everything. So it's really been a wonderful environmental year for me. And in spite of the pandemic, it's been a beautiful thing seeing how people are coming together and still fighting for our waterways. You know that I always say, Hona must take care of the roots for heal the tree. But one of the Gullah Geechee proverbs is the water to bring we and the water go take we back. So I'm happy that water brought you and I back together, even in the midst of all of this. This is a wonderful program you have. And I thank you to Hona for putting me in the spotlight. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you so much. Real quick before we sign off, I want to share a promo for our next spotlight, which will be Minorities in Shark Science, and that'll be on December 17th. So be sure to tune in for that. And once again, thank you so much, Queen Quet. You are one of my favorite people to work with, and I really appreciate you joining us tonight. Have a really good night.
Thank you so much, Sam. Everybody out there, stay safe and healthy and enjoy the holy days. Peace and blessings.
Thank you.